You have probably heard the news that Donald Trump has announced direct military action in Iran.
A short time ago, the United States military began major combat operations in Iran.
Whenever Iran appears in the news, many people in the world immediately think about conflict, politics, and religion. Many people believe that Christians in Iran must be living a very difficult and restricted life today. But how much do we really know about their story? Do we really know how Christians actually live in Iran today, or how Christians are living in Persia during the past 2,000 years? Did you know that at certain moments in history, Christians held powerful positions inside the Persian world? That Christian communities lived, traded, and worked inside Persian cities for centuries? There were even periods when Christians played major roles in the administration of the Persian Empire, influencing culture, scholarship, and diplomacy. And there were also times when Persian Muslims and Christians lived side by side, like neighbors, colleagues, and sometimes even like brothers and sisters. So what is the reality today? Are there still churches and Christian religious sites protected in Iran today?
Do you think that it's better for Christianity to have Israel controlled by Jews or Israel controlled by Muslims?
Part of my family is from Tehran. They're Iranian.
They are Shia Muslim.
No, they are Christian. They are Armenian. They've lived in Tehran their entire life. There's a big community and they have churches that they go every single Sunday. They are proud of who they are. They wear their crosses out. Not a problem. But let's talk about Egypt, Syria, Jordan. They have thousands of churches there. They have big Christian faith over there, but they are Muslim majority countries and run by Muslims, and the churches are protected.
Do Christians have a place in the government of modern Iran? Are their lives really as difficult as many Western media reports suggest? Or is the story more complex than what we usually hear? To understand this, we need to travel through history. In this video, we divide the story of Christians in Persia into 5 major historical eras, each shaped by the religion and political system of its time. The first part explores the life of Christians in pre-Islamic Persian empires, beginning around 700 to 330 BCE with the Median Empire and the Achaemenid Empire, and continuing later with the Sasanian Empire, which was around 224 to 651 CE. During this long period before the Islamic conquest, Zoroastrianism guided much of Persian state and society, and under the Sasanians, it became the official state religion. The second part examines Christian life under Sunni Muslim rule after the Islamic conquest of Persia in 651 CE, when Islamic caliphates and later Iranian dynasties governed the region, generally following Sunni Islam until the 15th century. The third part focuses on the Christian conditions during the period from the Safavid dynasty to the Qajar dynasty, from 1501 to 1925, when Shia Islam became the official religion of the state, shaping Iran's religious identity. The fourth part takes us through the Pahlavi dynasty from 1925 to 1979, a time when Iran functioned as a modern secular monarchy and religious minorities experienced a different political environment. Finally, the fifth part explores the current living conditions of Christians in the era after the Iranian Revolution, which created the Islamic Republic of Iran, 1979 till present, where Twelver Shia Islam forms the basis of the political system today. Across these 5 eras, one question remains constant. How did Christians live, adapt, survive, and contribute in each period of Persian history? What roles did they play in society? How did they interact with rulers and neighbors? And how did their communities change over time? Join us on this journey as we uncover the long and often forgotten story of Christians in Persia, from the earliest communities to the present day. The first part explores the life of Christians in pre-Islamic Persian empires from around 700 BCE with the Median Empire, then the Achaemenid Empire, and later the Sasanian Empire from 224 to 651 CE. During this long period, Zoroastrianism guided the state and society, and under the Sasanians, it became the official state religion. Zoroastrians are followers of one of the world's oldest monotheistic religions, founded by the prophet Zarathustra in ancient Persia, approximately 1000 to 600 BCE. They worship one god, Ahura Mazda, Lord Wisdom, and believe in a dualistic struggle between good and evil. Their core philosophy is good thoughts, good words, good deeds. Christianity arrived in Persia in the 1st century CE, mostly through missionaries and traders from Mesopotamia and Syria. These early Christians formed small communities in cities along trade routes. Their numbers were relatively small compared to the empire's population, probably less than 1 to 2% of the total population. Because they were a minority, Christians did not hold much political power. Most of the government and military positions were controlled by Zoroastrian elites. Yet Christians were not always persecuted. They were allowed to practice their faith privately, gather in small churches, and follow their own religious laws. In some periods, Christians worked as traders, craftsmen, and scholars. They also served as advisors, doctors, and scribes in local communities. In cities like Ctesiphon and Hecatopolis, Christians lived alongside Zoroastrians and other religious groups. Daily life often required cooperation in trade, education, and local business. Conflicts did occur from time to time, especially when rulers felt Christians were too close to foreign powers like the Roman Empire or later the Byzantine Empire. Some Sasanian kings imposed restrictions on Christian practices or taxed their communities more heavily. But these periods of tension were often temporary. Many Christians maintained peaceful relations with their neighbors and contributed to society. Christian communities also organized themselves under local bishops, forming early networks of churches across Persian lands. This helped them stay connected, share religious teachings, and survive as a minority. Despite being a small part of the population, Christians made lasting contributions. They helped in trade, education, and medicine. They learned local languages and became part of Persian culture while keeping their own religious traditions. This era shows that even as a minority under a state religion that was different from their own, Christians in Persia managed to live, work, and grow their communities for hundreds of years. The second part examines Christian life after the Islamic conquest of Persia in 651 CE. After the conquest, Persia became part of the Islamic caliphates. Later, different Iranian dynasties ruled, generally following Sunni Islam until the 15th century. Christian communities were now a religious minority. They were recognized as people of the book, which gave them certain protections. Christians could practice their faith, keep churches, and teach their religion. In return, they paid a special tax called jizya. Some local rulers and Christian leaders also signed agreements or treaties. These agreements guaranteed protection of churches, property, and community rights. Christians sometimes acted as mediators between Muslim rulers and neighboring Christian states, like the Byzantine Empire. Most Christians did not serve in the army because they were dhimmis, but in some cases, skilled Christians worked as advisors, engineers, or medical officers for the military. Their knowledge of languages, medicine, and trade made them valuable to society. During this era, Christians were mostly merchants, scholars, teachers, and doctors. They translated works from Greek into Syriac and Arabic, helping to preserve and share knowledge. They also worked alongside Muslim scholars in medicine, astronomy, and education, creating a shared intellectual culture. The population of Christians was small compared to the empire, probably around 1 to 3%. Most lived in cities like Baghdad, Isfahan, and Shiraz. Daily life often involved cooperation with Muslim neighbors in markets, workshops, and neighborhoods. Occasional tensions happened, especially when rulers suspected Christians of supporting foreign powers. But these periods were usually short, and Christians continued to live, work, and maintain their communities. Even as a minority, Christians made lasting contributions to Persian society through trade, scholarship, medicine, and education. This era shows that Christians under Sunni Muslim rule were protected, influential, and part of daily life, even if they were not in political or military power. The third part looks at Christian life in Persia from the Safavid dynasty to the Qajar dynasty from 1501 to 1925, when Shia Islam became the official religion of the state. During this long period, rulers made Shia Islam a central part of government and culture. Even though Christianity was a minority religion, Christian communities continued to live and work in Persian society. One of the most important changes came under Abbas of Persia in the early 1600s. He moved many Christian Armenians into a new quarter of Isfahan called New Julfa. There, Armenian merchants built a thriving community that became known across the world for trade, culture, and learning. In New Julfa, Christians were not only traders, but also builders of churches, schools, and printing presses. They printed books in Armenian and helped spread education. Their trade networks reached as far as Europe, India, and the Middle East. Because the Safavid state valued the skills of Armenian merchants, these Christians often enjoyed special protections and support, even though Shia Islam was the state religion. Armenian Christians became one of the most economically important minorities in Persia. However, life was not always easy for all Christians. Some communities faced pressure to convert to Islam, especially in more remote areas or during times of political tension. There were also periods of religious debate and disagreement between local Muslim scholars and Christian missionaries from Europe. During the Afsharid, Zand, and later Qajar periods, Christians continued to live in Persian lands. They kept their churches, maintained community life, and built strong identities, especially among Armenians and Assyrians. Outside the major merchant centers, many Christians practiced their faith quietly in villages and towns. Their population was small compared to the Muslim majority, but in places like New Julfa and northwestern Persia, Christian communities formed recognizable and active groups. By the late 1800s and early 1900s, Christian communities continued to grow in social importance. The arrival of Western missionaries introduced new schools and hospitals, which served both Christians and Muslims. These missions helped improve literacy and medical care in several Persian cities. In this era, Christians were not rulers, but they were respected for their skills in trade, education, and culture. They were part of Persian society, often working alongside Muslim neighbors in business and public life. This period shows that even as Persia became a Shia state, Christian communities adapted and contributed to society, building strong cultural and economic roles over several centuries. The fourth part looks at Christian life in Persia during the Pahlavi era. from 1925 to 1979. Persia officially became Iran in 1935 when Reza Shah Pahlavi requested the international community to use the endonym Iran, meaning land of the Aryans, instead of the Western-imposed Persia. This change aimed to modernize the nation and reconnect it with its ancient pre-Islamic heritage. During this time, Iran became a modern and secular monarchy. Religion was less tied to the government than before, which created a different environment for religious minorities. Christians were officially recognized and allowed to practice their faith freely. They had churches, schools, and community centers. Armenian and Assyrian communities were the largest Christian groups in the country. Many Christians worked in business, medicine, education, and culture. Some attended universities and became doctors, teachers, engineers, and artists. While Christians did not hold major political power, they were respected and active in society. The Christian population during this period was relatively small, around 100,000 to 130,000 people, less than 1% of Iran's total population. Most lived in Tehran, Isfahan, Urmia, and other major cities. The fifth part explores Christian life in Iran after the 1979 Iranian Revolution, when the Islamic Republic was established and Twelver Shia Islam became the basis of the political system. Since then, Christians have continued to live as part of Iranian society. Under the Iranian constitution, Christians are officially recognized as one of the country's religious minorities, along with Jews and Zoroastrians. This recognition means that Christians have the legal right to practice their faith, hold religious ceremonies, and teach their own religious traditions within the limits of the law. Today, Iran is home to around 300,000 to 370,000 Christians, most of whom are ethnic Armenians and Assyrians. These communities have long traditions and deep roots in the country. They maintain hundreds of churches and continue familiar celebrations such as Christmas and Easter in cities like Tehran, Isfahan, and Urmia. Christians also have representation in the Iranian government. For example, the Assyrian community is represented in the Islamic Consultative Assembly, Iran's parliament, showing Christian voices are part of the political landscape today. In everyday life, many Christians work in education, business, and culture. Christian schools continue to operate, and Christian participation in arts and academia remains visible. These communities have managed to preserve their language, heritage, and faith across decades of change. At the same time, the situation is complex. Because Article 13 of the Iranian Constitution applies mainly to ethnic Christian groups, Christians from other backgrounds may face additional challenges. But many Christians continue to live peacefully with their Muslim neighbors, share daily life, and contribute to Iranian society in many ways. And that's a glimpse into the long and fascinating history of Christians in Persia, from the first communities to modern Iran. If you enjoyed this journey through history, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss an episode. Join us next time on English History Simplified as we explore more stories of how different communities lived together across history.